Good afternoon, everyone. We are coming to you live from Vernon Township High School in Vernon, New Jersey for today's boys basketball game of the week. Today's game featuring two teams from the NJAC Freedom Division. The Hackettstown Tigers coming in with a record of 9-4, led by head coach Mike McDonough, 5-1 in the NJAC Freedom Division. This team currently sits second to the Falcons, who are atop the NJAC Freedom. They're taking on the Vernon Vikings, coming in with a record of 10-5 on the season, 6-2 in the NJAC Freedom. They currently sit third in the Freedom Division. The Vernon Vikings, they're coming off their latest victory Wednesday against Walk Hill Valley by the final score of 64-41. They come in riding a 4-game winning streak due to the Vikings, and these are two teams that have met earlier in the season on opening night. It was a good game. Hackettstown getting the better of the Vernon Vikings that night, 48-44. They're coming in tonight, both teams looking for what we expect to be another good game. I'm going to bring in my partner, Brian Thomas. Brian, we have a couple sponsors for bringing us this afternoon's ball game. Let's hear about them.
Yeah, we want to give a big shout out to Harbinger Pest Control. They are a local veteran-owned business servicing residential and commercial properties in the Sussex and Morris County areas. You can check them out at harbingerpest.com, and you can also check them out at Harbinger Pest Control on Facebook. And I am personally a client of theirs, and they are outstanding. You should definitely check them out. Also, we just want to give a big shout out to Coach Healy and Bill Foley of Vernon for always taking care of us when we're here as well. So check them out, and we are very excited for this game today, Jordan.
Absolutely. And Brian, today we got two teams. They met earlier in the season on opening night. These two teams are totally, completely different than they were when they met over a month ago in December. Hackettstown getting the better of the Vernon Vikings, 48-44. What can we expect to see in this afternoon's ball game in the rematch?
Well, that crazy game was really exactly that. I mean, at halftime, I think Vernon was up 17, 18 points, and then all of a sudden there was some foul trouble. There was some cramping going on, and Hackettstown made a furious comeback. They fixed their game plan at halftime, and it executed incredibly well and came out there with a win. So I expect this to be a highly competitive game against two very talented teams. And I think we'll chat a little bit more about that after we step away for the anthem, Jordan.
Stand of Providence, Ray Skull and Anthony on loan from the Bees for this game this afternoon. Please rise. We're playing about national anthem.
And we are back. So, Jordan, going back to that very first game, which was the first game of the year, the expectations for these two teams were very, very different. Hackettstown's a bit of a younger team. They lost a lot of seniors last year off a highly successful team that had a great run. And we expected them maybe to not have a great year, and that first half really reflected that and showed that. But after they came back in that second half, they've really taken off. And as you mentioned, I mean, they've really had a nice year, 9-4 overall, 5-1 in the Freedom. And then you looked at the Vernon Vikings, who the expectations was really polar opposite. After having a great year last year, they expected to just really catapult themselves into the next stratosphere this year, and they stumbled out of the gates a little bit, losing that first game to Hackettstown, losing that second game to Warren Hills. But they have certainly righted the ship, and now, with them being at 10-5 and 6-2 in the NJAC Freedom, I think we're going to have an excellent matchup between two really good teams today.
So Hackettstown in the white, Vernon in the blue, and the opening tap won here by the Vikings. It is Alex Fessel, the junior guard, controlling the opening tap for the Vikings. And right away, they try to feed it down to Jurowitz down in the low block. Talking to Mike McDonough earlier pregame, he said Jurowitz, he's going to be a key piece of this Vernon team. He's going to certainly be drawing a lot of attention, and someone the Hackettstown Tigers are going to be keen to focus on to keep him in check this afternoon. And it'll go back to the Vikings. Let's give you the starting five on the floor for the Hackettstown Tigers. Ryan Dew, the senior, number 35. Number 44, sophomore Sean Hall. Aiden Derna, number 52, the senior. Number 53, sophomore Troy Strelick. And number 3, Matt Gunther. And 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Number 1, guard forward, senior, number 1, DeMar Morth Chase. Number 2, sophomore guard Dylan Haycoop. Number 3, junior guard Aiden Karwoski. Number 5, junior guard Alex Fessel. And Ben Jurowitz, the senior forward, coming off an impressive outing last night against Hackettstown, against Wallkill Valley with a double-double, 11 and 10, and loose ball, and it's going to stay here with the Vikings. Or excuse me, with the Hackettstown, pardon me. And it'll be the Tigers inbound underneath. Getting it to go, basket and the foul is the senior number 35, Ryan Dew.
And Ryan Dew has had a great senior year so far, averaging about 15.5 a game, and he was the catalyst in that second half in the very first game. In that third quarter, when Hackettstown made their comeback, he really was the one that took over that game on the offensive end. So he can fill it up, and he can fill it up quickly.
Dew gets the free throw to go, and Hackettstown with a 3-0 lead early in the first quarter here at Vernon.
Jordan, you're going to see a lot of half-court man-to-man from both teams. They don't want to throw out a lot of gimmicks. They want to trust their players and play hard-nosed defense.
Fessel thought about the three, works it around the perimeter. This is Haycoop. Back out to Morph chest, top of the key. Good ball movement here by the Vikings. Jurowitz. Pull-up pop from Fessel. Got it.
So we've seen 2 really good defensive possessions for both teams, but we've also seen good patience on the offensive end from both teams as well.
3-2 our score.
I like this matchup with Fessel guarding Dew. It's a good defender and a good offensive player. You always got to love seeing some of the best players match up head-to-head.
Dew swings it around. Ryan Dew with an acrobatic finish with the left hand.
And as a lefty, sometimes it can be a little unorthodox to play against a lefty. So you got to make sure you're playing back to that right-hand side.
This is Morph chest for the Vikings. Nice defensive play by Strelick, trying to break it up there for Hackettstown. Vernon able to recover. Corner 3 put up by Karwoski, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Strelick.
Strelick's had a really nice year as well, coming out into the game averaging 10.5 points and about 7 rebounds a game. A big kid. That's a good matchup with him and Jurowitz.
Shot unable to go. Jurowitz with the rebound. Out to Fessel with a 3 from the wing, gets it to go, and we're tied at 5 with 4:45 remaining in the first quarter.
You got to get a hand up all the way out to Alex. He's got 2 jump shots so far, 1 mid-range, 1 from 3. Looks like he is locked in this afternoon offensively. And you know what, Jordan? Sometimes guarding the opposing player's best player, as we have a jump shot here from Hackettstown, sometimes people don't want to do it because they think, oh, it drains my energy. But the really great players accept that challenge, and it locks them in on both ends of the floor even more.
7-5 Hackettstown leads. We approach the halfway point of the first quarter. Pass broken up there by Hackettstown, and the Tigers are able to come away with the loose ball. Up ahead, I believe that's number 1, Sean Hall. We'll check on that in a moment. Tried to feed it to Strelick, but Alex Fessel finds the loose ball, and the Vikings look to push. Haycoop. slid the pivot foot.
Yeah, just dragged it just a little bit. Excellent defense by Hackettstown. This is what we expected so far. You got both teams working hard on both ends. Each team really wants to come out of here with a win today, and that's always the case, but especially after what happened in that first game. Vernon wants to establish themselves as the better team, and Hackettstown wants to say, hey, that wasn't a fluke in that first game.
And we have an illegal screen set here by the Tigers. It's going back up to Vernon. Already a better start for Hackettstown than they did against the previous outing against the Falcons of Jefferson. Down 19-0, talking to Mike McDonough. Says it's a young team he has this year with Hackettstown, but you know, he said one of these times we're going to play a good team. We're going to get down, and we're not going to be able to come back.
Right.
But he loves the fact that he sees this scrap and this fight in his team. They're never down and out. Tigers forced to turn over here. They can't finish on the other end. Here comes the Vikings. This is Fessel to Morph Chess. Working on Sean Hall. Tries to feed it down to Jurowitz, and a foul. And I think they got Troy Strelick for over the back.
So what's crazy about that 19-0 deficit that they started out with is they ended up outscoring them. I think it was close to 43-20 the remaining 3 quarters, and they ended up losing that game only by 2 points. So they did come all the way back, and they felt like if the game was another couple of minutes, they probably would have won that game. Of course, that's not how it works, but they certainly have the ability to come back from big deficits because they've done it multiple times this season.
Daniel Gubernat checking in there for Troy Strelick for the Tigers. They're going to work it down inside. Good ball movement. Karwoski, corner 3, halfway down and out. Jurowitz with the rebound. Feeds to Haycoop. Fading away, can't get it to go, and last touch off Morph Chess, and it'll go to the Tigers.
Good ball movement by the Vernon Vikings. And Jordan, we saw this last week when we were here. When Ben Jurowitz gets touches in the paint and on the block, whether he looks to score or not, he's done an excellent job of reversing the basketball that can lead to another reversal that leads to an open shot. So you got to continue to watch Ben Jurowitz. He's been a big key to this Vernon offense.
Just we're going to have to check on a couple of numbers for you here, folks, for the Hackettstown Tigers. Number 41, don't have a number for him. I was just checking over the book prior to the opening tip. So we'll do our best to check that in between quarters. This is Hall here working against Haycoop. Ryan Dew.
Tough shot.
Got it to go. And number 41, I don't have a 41 in my book either. We'll check on that at the end of the quarter, but it's 9-5 Hackettstown leads, under 2 minutes to play.
This is the start that Hackettstown wanted to have. Get off to a quick start. Get into that second quarter, fighting, competitive, taking the lead.
Tried to feed it down in there to Jurowitz, so he lost his footing, and it's going to go back up to Hackettstown. Haycoop tried to feed it down inside, but unable to get it to go. And it'll come back up this way for the Tigers.
Coach Healy wants him to be a little bit more patient on the offensive end and look to enter that pass into the post more on the wing where the angle is better. Nice closeout by Fessel. Dew was ready to let it fly.
Dew drives and gets the roll to go with the left. Nice pretty up and under.
He's got a really quick first step, and he's strong and explosive. And if he gets by you with that body, man, it's going to be a long day.
Jurowitz quickly doubled, tried to find the open man in Haycoop. Haycoop, though, can't get it to go, and an offensive foul on Matt Gunther.
Gunther just extended that arm just a little bit. Nice positioning by Alex Fessel.
So we have a whistle and a timeout here called by Vernon. Quick 30-second timeout called by Coach Connor Healy. And we'll keep it here with 1:02 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Certainly, I think Hackettstown has got to be thrilled with the 6-point lead early on in this game. They're attacking the basket offensively. They're getting good movement. And defensively, they're doing a really nice job. I mean, to hold Vernon to 5 points in the first 7 minutes of the game. I mean, just last week we saw Vernon put up a 65 spot. And they can fill it up offensively between really all of their starting 5. So I think Hackettstown's got to be thrilled at the moment, Jordan.
Yeah, you mentioned the 65 points there last weekend against Par Hills. This Vernon team, 60 seems to be the number, Brian. 7-0 are the Vernon Vikings when they cracked 60 or more on the season. And Hackettstown will look to keep them in check. Ben Jurowitz quickly, every time he seems to get the ball, or they try to give it to him, quickly doubled, not clean passing lane. Mike McDonough said they're going to have to clog that up and if they're going to hope to be successful today up here in Vernon. So a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Dylan Haycoop bringing it up across here for the Vikings. Morph Chess trying to feed it down to the Jurowitz, not having an easy time. 3, Haycoop off the back iron, rebound by Morph Chess. Going up strong, can't get it to finish. Haycoop gets the board to keep the possession alive. Fessel for 3, got it.
But once again, Jordan, that was Ben Jurowitz getting his hand on that offensive rebound to tip it to Haycoop, who ends up passing it back out to Fessel for a 3. So he does so many little intangible things that don't always show up in the box scores. That's a big shot right there.
Down to 20 seconds. Gunther got it.
Hackettstown not phased at all.
Down to 3 seconds here for the Vikings. Fessel lost it in traffic. Half-court heave, good if it goes, and it's short. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, it's Hackettstown with a 13-8 lead. We'll step aside, come back. Second quarter action coming up right after this. With you back here at Vernon Township High School, start of the second quarter. 13-8 Hackettstown lead. A couple of number corrections here. Sean Hall wearing number 1 for the Tigers this afternoon, and Aiden Derna wearing number 41 in white for Hackettstown. Here's Derna working on Morph Chess. Nice up and under. Too strong, can't get it to go. Morph Chess with the rebound. So 13-8, our score at the end of 1. Brian, we've got a couple sponsors I'd like to thank. Let's give them some airtime.
Quick shout out to Harbinger Pest Control. They are a local veteran-owned business servicing residential and commercial properties in the Sussex and Morris County areas. You can visit them at harbingerpest.com. You could also check them out on Facebook at Harbinger Pest Control. And of course, big shout out to Vernon High School here, Coach Healy, Athletic Director Bill Foley for having us here and always welcoming us with open arms.
So we have a whistle and a foul, and I believe it's going to go against Hackettstown. They're going to get Gubernat, number 20, his first, team's first.
So we got to remember with this new rule, at the beginning of each quarter, the team fouls reset, so that'll be the first foul for Hackettstown. Of course, Vernon has yet to commit one. And then once they get to 5 in each quarter, it's an automatic 2-shot foul for the rest of the quarter.
Similar to the NBA rules.
Right.
Yep.
It's a second miscommunication by Vernon here, looking to go backdoor, try to get open on the wing. So unforced errors are something that Vernon's got to make sure they're cutting down on.
Sean Hall bringing it up here, the sophomore. Hall working on Haycoop. Drives baseline, draws the contact, and he'll up to the line for a pair.
Nice job by Hall for refusing the screen and coming back to the right side where there wasn't as much weak side help, and just snuck right around Haycoop, and Haycoop got him with the body. Nice crowd here for a Saturday afternoon game, Jordan.
Very good. Last weekend we were here for Parsippany Hills. Nice crowd there as well for that contest.
You got the Vernon girls are playing directly after this game against North Warren in the first round of the HWS tournament. So the county tournaments are now starting to get cranking, and we'll get to that later on in the game.
HWS on the boys' side, a couple games tipping off this afternoon, this morning as well. And Hall going 0 for 2 at the stripe. Rebounded here by Morph Chess. Oh, a nice move in the lane. Yeah, took too many steps though.
That's one of the ways that Demir really excels is that once he gets that rebound, he doesn't really need an outlet. He can just bring it right down the floor and look to finish in the lane, and he's had a great few weeks of basketball.
Sean Hall, too high off the window, rebounded by Jurowitz. Gives it up to Morph Chess.
And that allows Fessel to play off the ball a little bit as well.
Morph Chess took too many. (13-8) our score. Hackettstown leads. These are two teams that have met earlier this season on opening night back on December 14th. Hackettstown getting the better of the Vikings that night, but two completely different teams. They've certainly changed the way they are. Bodies hit the deck, we play on, and now we have a whistle here, and concern for Jurowitz.
Yeah, it looks like Gubernat is grabbing his knee. Just never a good sign. Hopefully he's okay. And then, of course, Jurowitz came down on him.
An ugly collision. For sure. And both teams, trainers and medical personnel out on the floor. We'll take this time. We'll step aside. We'll come back right after this. And we're back here at Vernon Township High School, and both players getting up off the floor. As we see Daniel Gubernat, he's getting helped off the floor by Mike McDonough and other medical personnel for Hackettstown. Ben Jurowitz, he was able to get up under his own power, and it looks like a knee injury.
Yeah, he's having a hard time even putting pressure on it. So obviously we're not going to speculate upon what it is. And, you know, hopefully it's nothing severe, nothing bad, and he was able to bounce back quickly.
Certainly all concerned with the injured players, and Daniel Gubernat, he's getting helped off to the bench, and certainly hopefully the best outcome for that young man. Hopefully we get to see him on the floor before too long.
As someone who has torn both of their ACLs a couple years apart in college, anytime you go down like that, it's a scary proposition because you don't know, you know, is it really bad? Is it not really bad? So, you know, this part right here, not just the physical pain, but the speculation of, okay, what could this be, is tough.
And then the mental reset for everybody involved.
Correct.
To get back going here. 5:43 remaining second quarter, 13-8 Hackettstown leads. And it was during a loose ball during which the collision occurred. And I believe Vernon had possession at the time of the
yeah, I believe
stoppage.
So. Yeah. So Vernon actually is going to take Jurowitz out for a minute just to reset himself as well and ensure that he's 100% okay. Smart move on Coach Healy's part. He's going to get a quick breather. And it looks like he's sitting at the bench ready to roll. And, you know, this is awesome. If you look, you see Coach Mike McDonough going over to Jurowitz, shaking his hand, making sure he's okay, even while his player is in the back getting attended to.
Karwoski thought about the three and Sid throws it behind back court, and touching it up will be Fessel, and they're saying it was deflected, so we'll play on. Karwoski Tries to feed into Morph Chess. He's quickly surrounded, looking for somewhere to go. Gives it to Haycoop.
And this is the first time we're seeing a half-court zone from either team. As Hackettstown going into a bit of a 1-2-2 that's morphing around a little bit.
Pecoraro getting his first action of the afternoon. He can't get it to go. Here comes Hackettstown in the fast break. Ryan Dew off the window with the right hand.
Boy, he is so quick and explosive. Gets off the ground quick as well.
15-8 our score.
You got a 3-2 now for Hackettstown, which is what they played last possession.
Long three, can't get it to go as Fessel rebounded by the Vikings.
Vernon's done a nice job of getting offensive rebounds and allowing themselves to get extra possessions and extra shots.
Haycoop. Out to Fessel. Back out to the top to Morph Chess. And the timeout called by Vernon.
I think that timeout was number one, just to talk about, okay, how are we going to attack this 3-2? But I think secondarily, they wanted to get Ben Jurowitz back in the game. Yeah. He's already sitting there for a minute waiting to get back in. So now they can insert him back. They can put him on the low post where he can gravitate up to the high post. And again, we've seen this now 2 games in a row. If he's getting touches with a foot in the paint, like their scoring percentage goes up dramatically, not just for him, but for the rest of his teammates as well.
He does so much off the ball and really helps create space and distractions. And if they're going to go with the 3-2, Brian, how do you expect Vernon to maybe use Jurowitz here coming back into the game?
Yeah, I mean, he's still going to look to post up, but I would imagine he's going to come a little bit more high post as well. And then when that ball gets to the wing or gets to the corner, he can dive hard to the block. So I would look for, as we know, Ben's biggest asset is his energy and activity. So I think him going Xing and Ving across the lane is going to be huge for them right now.
So here's Haycoop. Hackettstown coming out in the 3-2 zone here out of that timeout. First
nice.
feed right to Jurowitz to Morph Chess, and he draws the foul. And it'll be a foul charge to number 35, Ryan Dew. So Morph Chess will head to the line for a pair.
And that, Jordan, was actually a case of Ben Jurowitz being too unselfish. They thought Demir set a great screen for him, which is obviously what they drew up in the timeout. And what happened was Ben saw an open layup, but he saw Demir with nobody on him at all. And the coaches were imploring him, just, hey, just go up right there. You're right there. You're the biggest kid on the floor. Just go up and finish that. But you got to love the unselfishness from one of your best players at the same time.
Jurowitz was in some foul trouble. We saw him last week, though. He played well, able to get through the contest last week without fouling out. And Morph Chess hits a pair at the line. 15-10 our score. 4:20 to play here in the second quarter.
Low scoring first half.
This is Sean Hall with it here for the Tigers. Working on Haycoop. Hall swings it around to Masai. Gunther, the Vernon defense forces the turnover. Morph Chess with it. Gets it back from Karwoski.
And now it's looking now, Jordan, like Hackettstown is in a bit of a, they were in a bit of a box and one for a quick second.
Morph Chess gets the rebound, gets a second crack at it, and gets it to go.
Again, those offensive rebounds are really what's keeping Vernon in this game right now.
Absolutely. And they've crawled, it's now down to, the margin's now down to 3. Timeout Mike McDonough and Hackettstown. With 3:25 remaining here in the second quarter, 15-12 our score. Hackettstown leads. Brian, what do you?
So here's what just happened there. We talked about maybe they were in a bit of a box and one. I think there was just a missed assignment by Hackettstown because Alex Fessel draws so much attention that they saw him open and he snuck up there and what happened was on the back side there was now an opening, which is how Vernon was able to get that weak side rebound. So that's why Coach McDonough called that timeout. This has nothing to do with this offensive possession right here, and it has everything to do with what just happened on the defensive end. And he's like, look, if we're going to be in the zone, we got to make sure we know where we are. We got to make sure we know what happens when the ball goes here, and that was the purpose of that timeout.
Yeah, Morph Chess was pretty unmarked there in the lane. They're
yes.
Just getting an easy putback off the window and gets the rebound to go. So Hackettstown here with possession. And Sean Hall bringing it across the timeline for the Tigers. Hall using a screen.
Vernon really trying to lock in here and finish this half strong.
This is Derna working on Morph Chess. Back to Dew.
I mean, this is excellent on-ball defense.
Sean Hall to reset here for Hackettstown. Connor Healy employing the defense from the bench. Pull up, pop, got it.
Tough shot. I mean, hand in his face and everything, Jordan.
Increases the Tigers' lead to 5. This is Haycoop with it, looking to answer for Vernon.
Back to that 3-2.
Fessel, long 3, short. Rebounded by Derna. This is Sean Hall with it now for the Tigers. Aiden Derna looking for somewhere to go with it. Now Hall calling signals. Pace is slowed down, Brian. You see more of a half-court game here?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really appreciate the patience on both sides. We haven't seen a lot of bad shots taken so far today.
Good stifling defense here by Vernon. Certainly, either of these offenses baskets, they're certainly earning them. Not getting really high percentage shots, just great finishing from either side. And a rebound here by Jurowitz.
Well, Vernon certainly wants to get out and run. They want to pick the pace and the tempo up.
Morph chest, got it to go and 1.
That's where Demir really excels, is when he's attacking the basket. A quick dribble move. He's got those long strides. He can finish right at the rim, using the backboard, not using the backboard. Let's see if we can knock down this for an and 1.
Gunther was trying to draw the charge there, instead picked up the blocking foul. Now Morph chest will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Jurowitz. Keeps the possession alive. It's Morph Chess, surrounded by 4 Tigers, and the foul going against Hackettstown.
Extra possessions. Once again, I think we're probably up to about 7 or 8 offensive rebounds for the Vernon Vikings, which has absolutely kept them in this game so far.
4th team foul against Hackettstown with 1:35 to play here in the second quarter.
Watch the Fessel coming back. There it is.
Off the Morph Chess screen. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Sean Hall. Gives it up to Derna here. They can tie or cut it to 1 to the Tigers, and they'll cut it to 1, and getting it to go is Matt Gunther off the window.
Strong move. And they got a handful of these kids that are not, 6'4", 6'5", but are powerful, that are explosive, that are quick, that can get to the basket immediately.
Karwoski with it in the corner, tries to feed it to Jurowitz, and it'll stay here with Vernon underneath. 1 minute remaining exactly. 19-14 Hackettstown lead. Low scoring first half affair here in Vernon this afternoon. Morph Chess goes up strong. A lot of contact, we play on, no whistle. Rebounded by Sean Hall.
They got numbers.
Yes, they do. Hackettstown will be Hall himself to the basket and gets it to roll.
Tough finish by Hall. A little bit of English on that basketball also. He thought that was going to slip right out, but it dropped right into the basket.
So Hall heads to the line, the sophomore, looking to make it a 3-point play. Foul getting charged to the junior Alex Fessel, his first. Team's first in this second quarter. Sean Hall can't get the free throw to go, and rebound comes to Vernon. 40 seconds to play in this opening half.
Hackettstown's done a nice job since they've converted to this 3-2.
Karwoski to Fessel. Back to Karwoski. Morph Chess calling for it on the wing. Gets it, the free throw line, and can't get it to go. Put back. It drops.
And once again, second chance points, Jordan.
Falling in the favor of the Vikings.
It's the only reason they're still within striking distance.
Hall to Derna. Contested 3, can't get it to go. Karwoski with it. Fessel, is he gonna get a shot off? Lets it fly, got it!
Oh, looks like they're gonna call it off. Are they saying it's good? I'm saying 1 rep. I think they're gonna talk about it.
Looked like the trail official put his hands up indicating a 3, count it.
All right.
And if that's the case, it's 21-19 at the end of the first half. The officials confer. It looks like the 3 will stand.
That is going to count.
And both teams will head to the locker room, with that being the last play of the first half. So at the end of 2 quarters of play, it's Hackettstown with a 21-19 lead. We'll step aside, come back, second half action right after this. Jordan Catelli, Brian Thomas with you here back at Vernon Township High School as we get ready to start the second half of the Hackettstown Tigers Vernon Vikings boys basketball game of the week. 21-19 Hackettstown leads as we get ready to start the third quarter. I'm going to turn things over to Brian Thomas. Brian, got some sponsors I'd like to thank.
First of all, quick shout out to the DJ playing the single greatest rock song in music history. And if you don't know what it is, you can't, I'm sure you can hear it. If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Okay. I mean, come on now. A little bit of GNR on a Saturday afternoon. Excellent work by the DJ.
Up here in only in Viking country.
Only in Viking country. We want to thank Harbinger Pest Control. They are a local veteran-owned business, and they service residential and commercial properties in the Sussex and Morris County areas. You can check them out at harbingerpest.com and also on Facebook at Harbinger Pest Control. I am one of their clients, and they are excellent. Owen, Jared, they do just an amazing job, so definitely reach out to them. And, of course, a very big, quick, and large shout-out to Vernon as well for always having us here. And don't forget to check out BT Basketball, BrianThomasBasketball.com. We've got our spring AAU tryouts coming up in about a week from tomorrow, in fact. And you can register at BrianThomasBasketball.com, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Vernon with the opening possession here to start this third quarter. Starting five on the floor here for the Vikings. Morf Chest, Haycoop, Karwoski, Fessel, and Jurowitz, the five on the floor for the Vikings. As we reset here in the third quarter, quick foul. First team foul this third quarter against Hackettstown, going against Matt Gunther, his third.
And that was a big finishing stretch, Jordan, in that third quarter by Vernon. They were down 21-14. And then, of course, got that three at the buzzer by Alex Fessel to cut it to 21-19.
Now it's 21-20.
So that's a big momentum shift for the Vernon Vikings in that last minute of that first half.
Starting five back on the floor for the Hackettstown. Dew, Hall, Derna, Strelick, and Gunther, the five on the floor for the Tigers. 21-21 our score, 7:40 remaining, third quarter. This is Ryan Dew. He leads the Tigers with 10 in that first half. Alex Fessel now with 13, 11 of the 13 coming in the first half. He's the leading scorer for the Vernon Vikings. Derna drives, lost it on the way through. Vernon's gonna push. Karwoski, and he draws the foul. And
yeah,
he'll head to the line for two.
Hackettstown tried to get the charge, but they were just a little bit too far underneath the basket. Nice job of Vernon. That's one thing we haven't seen as much today. You got to give Hackettstown credit, is we haven't seen them push the tempo as much as they usually would like to, hence the score, you know, being what it was at the half. But I do expect Vernon to try to get up and down the floor a little bit more in this third quarter.
Karwoski hits the first. That's the fourth team foul on Gunther. He will exit. Checking in is number 10, Jonathan Masai. And can't get the second to go, so Karwoski goes 1 of 2 at the stripe, gives Vernon the 22-21 advantage. 7:09 to play, third quarter.
Once again, man-to-man defense by Vernon. I don't think they're going to be coming out of that at all.
Masai gives it up to Dew. Dew working on Fessel, using the screen, creating space, short on the jumper, put back, can't get it to go, is Strelick, and it's going to stay here with Hackettstown.
Strelick doing an excellent job on that possession of using his body and his height and trying to get a second shot, second possession for his Hackettstown Tigers.
And Hall gets it into Strelick up top. He gives it up to Dew. Back to Strelick. Backing down on Jurowitz. Strelick can't get it to go. Might have had a shot altered. Rebounded by Morf Chess.
I think Jurowitz may even have gotten a piece of that.
And Morf Chess will pull it out. Strelick and Jurowitz going to bang bodies here on this defensive end. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's a good matchup, similar size.
Haycoop drives baseline. Corner three from Fessel, he's got it. And Vernon has their largest lead of the contest at 4.
Coach McDonough unhappy with the defensive assignments or missed assignments by his players, because the last thing you want to do is leave Alex Fessel open for a wide open three. And the thing about it is, I mean, he didn't really even look open, but he gets his shot off and his release off so quickly that, you know, you can't, we talk about this all the time, you can't close out nowadays at 80 to 85% on these shooters, because the game is so three-point centric nowadays, and these kids practice these shots so much that you got to close out all the way to 100%, make them put it on the deck and try to drive by you, and that's when your help defense comes into play. So I'm sure Coach McDonough is having some words along those lines with his players at the moment.
And if you want to learn to close out quickly, go to BT Basketball.
My man, there you go. Excellent. No rookie here, Jordan.
Absolutely.
Nice work.
That's what you call a segue, Brian.
I love it.
So it's 25-21, big three. The momentum really started to change at the end of that second quarter, Brian. That last second three that Vernon got to go. They cut it to 2. They come out, they get the quick foul, get the free throws, and then Fessel here with the 3. They got their largest lead of the game here at 4. Less than 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, and really, I mean, spanning halftime, they're on an 11-0 run.
Ryan Dew with it here. Big possession here for the Tigers, trying to stead the momentum here, right the ship. They're down by 4.
Little UCLA action.
Hall gets it to drive, gets it to drop. Cuts the lead to 2.
They needed that one.
Haycoop bringing it back here for the Vikings. Picked up here by Masai. Masai taking over for Gunther, who's on the bench with 4. Fessel lets another 3 fly short. And it'll go out of bounds, coming back up to Hackettstown.
The thing about these Tigers, and they've proven this all season, is that they're certainly, even when they're down 15, 19 points, they're not going to go away. So you're really going to have to play to the final buzzer to beat this team.
Absolutely. And here's Masai, gives it up to Hall. Hall using the Strelick screen. Popping out is Derna, lets it fly and hits.
Derna's having a nice game, quick jab step, and letting it go.
Hackettstown retakes the lead, 26-25. Fessel gives it to Karwoski, or pardon me, it's a Haycoop. Haycoop from the free throw line, off the mark. Rebounded by Strelick.
Hackettstown doing a much better job so far, Jordan, of defensive rebounding. I'm sure that was a point of contention at halftime.
Strelick's giving him some presence down the low block, giving him something, banging bodies with Karwoski. Loose ball, bodies hit the deck. Hackettstown comes away with it, it's Masai. He gives it up to Hall. Hall reset the offense here with 4:44 left in the third quarter. Off the Strelick screen, drives right side, can't get it to go. Morph chest with Vernon with the rebound. He's had an impressive night cleaning up on the glass, has Morph chest. They get it down to Jurowitz, working on Strelick. Back out to Karwoski, swings it around, nearly a throwaway, but Vernon able to regain it for the moment, but it's going back up to Hackettstown as Fessel cannot corral.
Coach Healy imploring his guys once again, just be patient. We're in no rush. Take your time, make a good pass, and make sure we're on the same page and we're communicating.
Sean Hall, Mike McDonough from the bench calling out an offensive play.
Tough.
And it's driving left, finishing with the right is Sean Hall.
Excellent job by Hall. A quick rip through and one dribble and finishing with that right hand.
Hackettstown back up by 3. Jurowitz gives to Fessel. Jurowitz was calling for it on the cut. Morph chest unable to give it to him. Maybe they try it again. Fessel drives left side. Can't get it to go, he's short. Here comes Hall and they're looking to push. Masai thought about it, feeds it down to Strelick. Strelick banging against Jurowitz. Comes back out to Ryan Dew, who's guarded by Fessel. Off the Derna screen. Denied by Morph chest as he tried to finish at the basket. Here's Fessel for Vernon. Morph chest for 3, got it.
It's a great sequence there for Vernon, getting a big-time defensive stop, and then Fessel finding Demir into a walk-in 3.
And the walk-in 3 ties us at 28. Under 3 to play here in the third. Pull up, pop, got it to go. Contested shot from Ryan Dew.
That's his second one today that he's made with Alex Fessel draped all over him with no room. Tough shot.
Hackettstown goes back up 3. Morph chest swings it around to Haycoop. Haycoop directing traffic. Gets it back from Jurowitz. This is Fessel. driving right side. Oh, he had more chest open in the corner, didn't see him. Rebounded by Derna here for Hackettstown. They got numbers if they want. To Strelick. Strelick, miscommunication, finds its way back into Haycoop's hands. Haycoop to Morph Chess.
The pace of this game, it's not as much up and down, but it certainly has changed. Like, you can feel the tension on both sides.
Pull up pop, Fessel got it from the elbow. Cuts the lead to 1, under 2 to play in this third quarter.
What a great back and forth we've had over these last 3 or 4 minutes.
1:43 and running here in this third quarter, 31-30. Hackettstown lead. It's lived up to the billing, this NJAC Freedom Clash.
Sure has.
This is Ryan Dew working on Fessel, picks up a screen, and it's swatted out of bounds by Morph Chess, and will stay with the Tigers underneath. Sean Hall inbounds, gets it to Dew, guarded tightly by Fessel. Derna trying to use the Strelick screen. Instead, he swings it out to Hall. Hall picks up his dribble, looking for somewhere to go with it. And they give it to Ryan Dew. He drives and draws the contact and a foul. And it'll be a shooting foul. He'll head to the line for a pair.
That's where Dew is at his finest, attacking with that left hand, using his body, and trying to get back to the foul line, which he has done once again.
And missing on the first is Dew.
Coach Healy telling Fessel, hey, just keep your hands off. Don't give the refs a reason to call a foul. Maybe look to step in and take a charge as Dew looks to attack the basket.
Fessel picked up his second on that last foul. Team's first in this third quarter. And hitting 1 at 2 is the senior Ryan Dew, and it's a 32-30 Hackettstown advantage. This is Haycoop, that gives to Fessel. Fessel pull up, pop, got it to go.
Tough shot. I mean, we're seeing 2 guys here with Fessel and Dew that have the other draped all over them on virtually every jump shot, and it just still doesn't seem to matter.
Tied at 32, under a minute to play, third quarter. Getting it to go is Hall off the window.
Hall has had a nice third quarter here offensively for the Hackettstown Tigers.
Haycoop looking to answer here, 34-32 Hackettstown leads. Haycoop, dribble drive with the right off the window, can't get it to go. Loose ball corralled by Derna. And it's gonna stay here with Hackettstown. So they caught a deflection on the way through.
Vernon fans understandably disagree. Looks like it was not touched, but the refs have a different angle than we do and are certainly doing the best that they can do.
3-man crew with us here this afternoon here at Vernon, as opposed to the normal 2 at the varsity level.
Which tends to lead to more fouls being called because you have an extra set of eyeballs, but we haven't seen that today. I think it's been a well-called game by these 3 officials.
Agreed. Under 17 to play, 34-32 Hackettstown leads. This is Ryan Dew with it, probably presumptively going to hold for 1. Down to 10 and running. Hall with the left, can't get it to go. Strelick attacks the window, unchecked, and gets it to go. And that'll be the last action of this third quarter. Hackettstown with a 36-32 advantage heading into the fourth. We'll take this time, we'll step aside, come back, fourth quarter coming up here at Vernon, 36-32. Hackettstown with a 4-point lead. Fourth quarter action coming up right after this. Back here at Vernon Township High School, Jordan Catelli with my partner Brian Thomas. Brian, let's remind the folks who's bringing us this afternoon's action.
Yeah, big thank you to Harbinger Pest Control. They are a local veteran-owned business servicing residential and commercial properties in the Sussex and Morris County areas. Check them out at harbingerpest.com as Dew hits another 3. And don't forget to check them out on Facebook at Harbinger Pest Control. And of course, a big thank you to Vernon Township High School for having us here once again on a Saturday afternoon.
Fessel get caught up in a little bit of traffic there on that last 3 by Dew to give Hackettstown a 39-32 lead. So Fessel gives it down to Jurowitz. Expect him to have a big fourth quarter, I'd imagine, if Vernon wants to get back in this one. Morph Chess gets the rebound, gets it to go.
Great job by Demir. When that shot went up, talk about being unchecked. He was able to slither right by his defender and sky high for that rebound with a nice quick putback.
This is Sean Hall, guarded by Haycoop. Hall gives it to Dew, and a quick timeout here by Mike McDonough. And we're going to want to draw something up coming out of the timeout with 7:01 remaining and a 5-point advantage for Hackettstown. We'll keep it here. Quick 30-second timeout charge to the Tigers. So, Brian, what do you expect in this fourth quarter? Vernon down by 5.
Yeah, I mean, Vernon's going to continue to do what they always do, which is play a hard-nosed man-to-man defense. If they get down any more than this 5, under 3 minutes or so, I expect them to come out with a full-court press, but it's still too early for that at this point. I mean, anything can change. This has really been a game of spurts. You had that spurt in the second quarter by Hackettstown to go up 21-14, a quick spurt by Vernon to close it, a quick spurt here by Hackettstown. Let's see if Vernon then responds with another spurt of their own.
So it'll be Hackettstown possession coming out of the timeout. They're up 5. And looking to expand on it here. It'll be Aiden Durna, the senior at inbounds. Guarded by Demir Morf Chess. And he gets it in seamlessly to Masai. Dew gives it up here to Hall. Hall. Masai, corner 3, short. Rebounded by Haycoop. And Haycoop's to push. Or pardon me, that was Karwoski on the rebound. Morf Chess. Now with it here for Vernon. And a foul away from the ball, and it's going to go against Strelick. Getting tied up there with Jurowitz.
You got Strelick and Jurowitz really battling down there. And Strelick had a great third quarter, of course, capped by that finish right at the buzzer.
Strelick picks up his third, team's first here in this fourth quarter. Karwoski guarded tightly. Nice feed underneath the Jurowitz, and he gets his first 2 of this fourth quarter.
Well drawn up play and perfectly executed. They fouled Fessel out to the corner, and Jurowitz was able to slip right to the basket. Good slip and good find and good finish.
39-36 our score. Hackettstown in front. Hall looking for somewhere to go with it. Off the screen. It's Dew.
Fessel learning his lesson, saying I got to get all the way up on him before he leaves the ground.
Long 2, halfway down and out, can't get it to go, but a rebound by Karwoski. This is Alex Fessel with it. They can tie it with this. Fessel, and he does. Tied at 39.
Alex Fessel at his best with the ball in his hands on the move, but taking his time into a quick pull-up 3.
39 apiece. We approach 5.5 to play in this fourth quarter.
And there's that spurt we were talking about. It's been a game of spurts so far. Does Hackettstown stop it here, or does Vernon keep going?
And a foul on Haycoop trying to fight over the Strelick screen. And it's going to be Hackettstown ball on the far side, right in front of the Hackettstown bench. Second personal foul on Haycoop, team's first. Corner 3, got it.
Again.
Ryan Dew.
With a hand in his face, highly contested, and not phased at all.
Hackettstown back up 3, back and forth we go in the Seesaw NJAC to Freedom Division battle. And a 3 and an answer by Karwoski, the junior.
Seesaw is correct, Jordan, you nailed it.
5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 42 apiece. It's a contest that finished 48-44 on opening night last time these two teams hooked up. Could be heading for a similar finish tonight. Strelick Gives it to Masai. Selig sets a screen, creates some space. Masai short on the three, rebounded by Haycoop. And it's Alex Fessel bringing up here for the Vikings. Big possession here for Vernon. They can go ahead here for the first time in this fourth quarter. Morph Chess gives it to Haycoop. Back to Morph Chess. Nice feed. Jurowitz, he's denied at the rim. And it's going back up to Hackettstown.
Nice quick interior passing by Vernon Vikings. Jurowitz just couldn't get that one to go. Refs are going to talk about this now.
And they're going to stick with it.
And you got to love that. I mean, especially with a three-man crew. You may as well chat about it and make sure that you're completely on the same page, especially when you're talking about a game with 4 minutes, 19 seconds left and
tie game.
Dead knotted at 42.
So they talked about it. They like what they saw initially, and it's going to stay with it with Hackettstown, and Sean Hall bring it up here. Derna gives it to Strelick. Strelick working on Jurowitz. Quick ball movement here by the Tigers. Just past the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Derna to Strelick. This is Hall. Hall against Morph Chess and gets it to go off the window. Going up against his opposite number there. Number one for Hackettstown gets the two. Karwoski feeds it to Jurowitz. Jurowitz had his pass deflected, and it's going to stay here with Vernon.
Let's see what Vernon decides to run here. You always got to watch out for Fessel, who's the inbounder coming off of the screen. But as Hackettstown saw, Jurowitz not afraid to slip to the basket there as well. There it is.
Fessel off the Morph Chess screen, off the angle on the three. Haycoop gets the long rebound. Three, swatted away by Strelick.
Excellent job by Strelick, realizing that, hey, that's not my guy, but somebody's got to get out there right away.
Able to close is the big man, Strelick. This is Haycoop. Fessel was open on the screen, swings it around to Karwoski. He's short. Karwoski might have been a foul. Count it. No, they're going to say the foul occurred before the shot.
That is the rare call if you're Vernon or the team that got the foul called against him, that you wish the foul wasn't called. Because right away he got that ball and put it right in.
No continuation given, so it'll be a Vernon inbound underneath.
But it was the right call. He was fouled just before he got that shot off.
So they get it in, and what do we have here? Another foul off the ball.
Yeah, it looks like Demir got his jersey pulled a little bit. It's a pretty clear one right there. So a number of baseline out of bounds here. Coach Hilly's going into his playbook to try to get a clean look.
Fourth team foul against Hackettstown. Morph Chess off the Jurowitz screen. Can't get it to go. Rebound, chased down by Karwoski. He drives baseline, and Strelick swats it away again.
Man, he has been outstanding in this second half. We didn't hear from him much in the first half, but he has put his thumbprint on both ends of the floor in this third and fourth quarter.
Well, he has certainly been an even matchup for Ben Jurowitz. Not many players can go toe-to-toe with him. Three, short, draws nothing but air from Fessel, and it's going to go back up to Hackettstown with just under 3 to play in this fourth quarter.
You got to give a ton of credit to Hackettstown on that possession. It felt like it was a 4-minute possession down there. And, you know, Vernon got a couple of offensive rebounds, but could not convert.
This is Dew, the senior. Left hand off the window, gets it to go, and a big basket there for Hackettstown.
He has had a huge game offensively.
They push to Jurowitz. Jurowitz's right hand, can't get it to go. Strelick altered the shot. And it's rebounded here by the Tigers, and Sean Hall brings it up here. Under 2.5 to play, Hackettstown by 4.
Strelick's third block in the last 2 minutes.
Give it to him on the low block, tracks 2 defenders, tries to give it right back to where it came from. It's Fessel in transition with the right hand, draws the blocking foul. He'll head to the line for 2.
Now we're going to be talking free throws here, Jordan. You know both teams are going to end up on the line quite a bit in the last 2:11 of this fourth quarter.
I believe that's the 5th team foul against Hackettstown. So Vernon will be shooting 2 to rest it away. So it'll be 2-shot foul here for Fessel. missing on the first.
So we'll see if he knocks this one down, if Coach Healy and Vernon decide to go to a full court press or not yet.
So he goes 1 of 2. Quick timeout here by Connor Healy, and he's going to set things up down by 3 with 2:11 remaining. All right, Brian, so 2:11 remaining, Hackettstown ball. What's getting spoken in both huddles?
The first thing with Vernon is, are we going to throw a press on here or not? I mean, you don't really need to because you're not down 5 or 6. It's still only a one-possession game. But the bottom line is you got to make sure. So Ryan Dew has had a great offensive game completely overall. Strelick's had a really nice second half, as has Sean Hall. So the bottom line, if you're Vernon, you have to get a stop on this possession, and then you got to come down and get a great shot on your side. Of course, on the Hackettstown side, there's still a ton of time left in this game, so you're not looking to kill clock necessarily, but you got to get a great shot of your own. There's no reason to take, unless you're Ryan Dew, you can take a contested shot because he's made like 6 of them tonight or this afternoon. But otherwise, hey, you know what? Let's be smart. Let's make sure our passes are crisp and clean. Let's make sure that we're not taking a bad shot. And you know what? If we don't score, let's come on down and get a stop of our own.
46-43. We'll reset it for you here. 2:11 on the game clock showing. Fourth quarter. 14 fouls on Hackettstown to Vernon's 1. So with the new rule implemented this year, 5 team fouls, an automatic. After the 5th team foul, you're automatically shooting 2 the rest of the way. So Vernon, every time they're fouled, they'll be heading to the line for 2. And it's Sean Hall bringing it up here for the Tigers. Dew gives it up to Derna. Derna working on morph chess. Strelick had it poked away, and they're going to get Jurowitz with the reach in.
Ben thought he had one. Ref thought about it and said, okay, yep, that was a foul. Only 2nd team foul on Vernon.
Not a bad foul. Jurowitz's first. 1:55 to play, fourth quarter. They get it in. This is Dew, the senior. Drives left, get it to go, big basket.
Just explosive and strong. We've seen that all afternoon here.
Morph Chess looking to answer for the Vikings. He's doubled on the low block, looking for some help. Timeout, Connor Healy from the bench. And he'll draw something up with his team down 5, and it'll be Vernon ball underneath with 1:36 to play in this fourth quarter.
Such an impressive performance by Dew, and Alex Fessel is an excellent defender, and he's played great defense on him, but it just hasn't mattered in a lot of these shots here today as he gets to that left hand and that upper body strength that he has. I mean, he had Ben Jurowitz coming over to help as well, and it just didn't matter. He's got an incredibly quick first step, and then you add that strength to it, and he is a tough cover.
He's making his presence felt all day. He's been a handful for this Vernon defense. And if you're Connor Healy, what are you drawing up here with 1:36 and the ball underneath your own basket?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd like an open 3 if you can get it, but at the same time, you just need to put the ball in the basket, whether that's a 2 or 3 or end up getting to the free throw line. But you got to make sure you're getting a clean shot. You're still not in a crazy rush. It's not like you got 15 seconds left in the game, but you got to make sure you're getting a great shot, an open look. And then my guess is from there we're going to see some type of full court pressure if they happen to get the ball into the basket.
So it'll be Vernon ball to inbound underneath. 1:36 to play. 48-43. Hackettstown leads by 5. And it'll be Karwoski to inbound underneath for Vernon. So it's Karwoski, Haycoop, Morph Chess, Jurowitz, and going up and getting denied is Fessel, and it's once again Troy Strelick making his presence felt, and Vernon will inbound it again underneath with 1:30 to play.
Yeah, he is like a completely different player in this second half. He's been amazing.
They get it into Haycoop. Off the Morph Chess screen.
So he was saying that he didn't establish his feet inbounds before he ended up catching the ball. So it's going to be a turnover. It's going to go back to Hackettstown.
That's a tough call there. And Alex Fessel doesn't agree, and Connor Healy's going to look for an explanation here.
Yeah, what they're confused about is where Alex caught the ball looks like a good 7 or 8 feet from the baseline. They're saying, okay, well, how did he get all the way out there without establishing himself back in?
So he came from directly out of bounds to inbounds without putting a foot or something in
Correct.
bounds.
Yeah, that's what the official is saying. So here comes that press for Vernon. Of course, it's going to be vital and important now. But Hackettstown can handle it really well.
This is Sean Hall working against Morph Chess. Quickly doubled. They break it, the timeline, and they get it to Strelick, and he's fouled. Pardon me, that was Ryan Dew.
Third, so they got 2 more before Hackettstown's got to get on the line. And I think you got to continue to play solid defense here. Look to go for the steal.
Yes.
Don't just indiscriminately foul.
And a timeout, Mike McDonough in Hackettstown with 1:21 to play.
Because I think, Jordan, that's a mistake that teams make all the time, is that, okay, well, we have to foul, so you might as well just foul and make it look like a foul instead of the opposite, which is, hey, okay, well, we obviously have to foul.
Play aggressive defense, try to force a turnover.
You might as well go for a steal. You might as well gamble because, look, we see it all the time. I mean, refs are human. Sometimes they miss calls. You might be looking to try to foul, and you get a piece of them. Ref doesn't see it. Next thing you know, you got a wide open layup coming down the other end. So you always got to go for the steal first, especially with 1:21 left in the game. There's 10 seconds left. It's a different story, different ball game completely, but it's not.
So the Hackettstown possession up by 5 with 1:21 to play here in this fourth quarter. 14 fouls for the Tigers, 3 for Vernon. So Vernon with a foul to give. We anticipate them to use it here. And it's just going to be how aggressive is Vernon going to be. And do they get a deflection, a loose ball? And it looks like it's going to be Matt Gunther to inbound for Hackettstown, right in front of the bench. They got Karwoski on the ball to inbound. They get it into Hall. Hall working on Haycoop. And there's the foul. Let's see where they get it. It looks like it's going to go against Jurowitz. Team's 4th, his 2nd, personal. And it's going to be Hackettstown ball underneath with 1:13 to play.
So both teams will be on the free throw line after any foul for the rest of the game. And as we talked about, free throws are going to be big.
They get it in. This is Strelick, top of the key, holding. Gives it to Dew. Pass nearly broken up there by Fessel. This is Derna. 1:03 to play. Doubled. Loose ball, but get it into Derna. And Derna's eventually fouled with 59 and 1/10 seconds showing.
That's a great job by Dew. Looks like he was about to be trapped right here at the half-court line, but he got rid of it quickly.
So now we have the senior, Aiden Derna, to the line for a pair. And Derna can't get the first. Hackettstown up 48-43, so a 2-possession contest as it stands. Gets the second. So the lead is 6.
Huge possession here for Vernon.
Here's Haycoop. Haycoop, oh, bad pass. Turned it over, and Fessel makes a play. And let's see, they're gonna get him with a foul.
Yeah, Vernon thought that he got all ball, in which case the ball actually did go off of Hall's knee, but the official had a foul call first.
So it'll be a 2-shot foul here for Sean Hall. Missing on the first. That was worst case scenario there in that last possession.
Yeah, a little miscommunication, and then of course leading right out to this run out with Hall on the line. And any point right now is huge. So even 1 out of 2
makes it a 3-possession game.
Yeah.
And he does. 50-43 our score, 48.5 showing. Fessel's got to make something happen quick. Timeout Vernon. It was 43.3 and a 7-point Hackettstown lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, now at this point I would imagine Coach Healy is going to draw up something to get an open 3 for it could be Fessel, it certainly could be Karwoski. But then if you're Hackettstown, you got to make sure that you're boxing out once this shot goes up. We haven't seen it as much in the second half, so I'm pretty sure they must have talked about it at halftime, because in that first half we saw Vernon get 7, 8, 9 offensive rebounds, which made a huge difference in the score in that first half, but we haven't seen that as much here. So the bottom line is, if you're Hackettstown, once that shot goes up, you got to find a body, and you got to make sure if that ball misses that you secure that rebound, and they only get one shot, one possession, then you can get back the other way because you're going to end up on the foul line anyway.
Right. So, number 53, Strelick, he's been a monster down there.
Yes.
He's been a load. They have not had an answer for him on either end of the floor to have the Vikings. So it'll be Aiden Karwoski to inbound, uncontested. And for Hackettstown, certainly do not want to foul. Get it into Jurowitz. Fessel, contested three off the mark. Rebounded by Hall, and he's fouled by Morph Chess. And Hall head down to the other end and shoot a pair.
Yeah, now it's starting to feel, Jordan, if Hackettstown's going to hit their free throws, they're going to walk out of here with a win. Still got a ways to go with 37, but up 7, starting to feel a little bit insurmountable.
All off the mark on the first. 37.1 on the clock. Hackettstown with a 7-point lead. The sophomore hits one of two. 51-43, 37 seconds to play. Vernon's got to make something happen quick. And it's tipped and deflected. Nice play there by Matt Gunther to stay with Vernon with 34.3 remaining. So the Haycoop to inbound with an 8-point Hackettstown lead. They get it into Morph Chess. Finds its way out to Karwoski. 3 no good. Whistle and a foul underneath. And I believe they're going to get. They're going to send Jurowitz to the line for 2.
It's certainly not what you want to do if you're Hackettstown. Excuse me, you don't want to stop the clock and give him a chance to get some free points.
And Matt Gunther will exit. That's his 5th. And Jonathan Masai will check in for the final 28.8 of this contest.
Solid game by Gunther. I mean, he did a lot of intangibles that won't show up in the box score, and he's a difference maker for this Tigers team.
Jurowitz hits on the first.
So make or miss here. You got to stay up, try to get a quick steal, and then send them back to the foul line if you're Vernon.
Jurowitz gets them both. It's a 6-point contest. They inbounded into Strelick. Strelick quickly fouled by Jurowitz, and Strelick will head to the line for a pair. So Vernon looking to extend the game here at 27.2.
As we said, if Hackettstown knocks down their free throws, they're going to walk out of here with a win, but you got to knock them down.
Strelick off on the first.
It's been the one thing really in this entire second half that they haven't done overly well is shoot free throws, because the rest of their game, third and fourth quarter, has been excellent.
Hackettstown's cleared out the lane as Strelick hits 1 of 2. So it's 52-45, 26 and running here in the fourth. Fessel, pull up, pop 3, halfway down and out, rebounded by Derna, and that may do it. And a quick foul by Jurowitz. And that'll send Derna to the line for a pair on the other end with 18.5 remaining and a 7-point Hackettstown lead.
We talk about it, if they end up coming out here with a win. What a huge win for the Hackettstown Tigers. I mean, just establishing themselves where they were at the beginning of the season, where they thought they were going to be. And these kids just play hard. I mean, on both ends of the floor, they don't quit. You know, as you mentioned earlier, this was an incredibly seesaw back and forth game, and it was a game of spurts by both teams. And really, Hackettstown just kind of stretched that to 7 or 8 towards the end, and the lid popped on for Vernon. They just couldn't hit a shot.
It's a 9-point contest with 16 seconds. Certainly, as Fessel lets a 3 fly here, in and out, rebounded by Strelick. He's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2. So, Brian, if this thing does end up being a double-digit score, certainly much closer than the score will indicate.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. We have 10.3 remaining, 54-45 score. So it looks like Hackettstown will get the victory. And as we're hearing the dying embers of this one, Hackettstown looks to get, they'll improve to 10-4 with a victory today. 6-1 in the NJAC Freedom. For Vernon, their 4-game losing streak will, or excuse me, their 4-game winning streak will come to an end today. They'll fall to 10-6 after today's game. And both teams will pick up action Tuesday, Brian, in the HWS tournament.
Yeah, both teams will set their sights. I think both teams should make a deep run into the HWS. It should be fun and exciting to watch.
3 by Morph Chess, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Strelick, and that'll do it. 56-45, Hackettstown victorious this afternoon in Vernon. They get the season sweep over the Vernon Vikings. Mike McDonough and the Hackettstown Tigers, nice job. Congratulations to them. For Connor Hurley and the Vikings, they'll be back at it Tuesday in the HWS. They'll get the winner of Hopakon-Lenape. They're tipping it off today. So we'll step aside. We'll come back. Brian Thomas will get the victors. Post-game interview coming up right after this.
All right, we're here with Ryan Dew and Coach McDonough. Guys, congratulations on a huge win for you guys. Ryan, we'll start with you. Your offensive game was on full display this afternoon. I mean, you hit some shots, and Alex Fessel's a really good defender. And he was, I literally said on air, he was draped all over you on some of those shots, and you were able to knock him down and continue to get to the basket. Talk about the development of your offensive game from the start of this season to where you're at right now.
I feel like the biggest thing was early on I was just driving to the basket early on during the season, and then I started to expand my game a little bit, and now I feel like teams are going to start playing me from the 3. So I put a big emphasis on just getting to the basket, right, because they were going to play me up close. So that was really the biggest thing.
Awesome. You played a great game. Congratulations. Coach, come on in here. Congratulations on a great win for you guys again. This was quite a back and forth seesaw type game. I mean, they made a run, you made a run, they made a run, you made a run. You guys made the final run of the game. Tell us what your mentality was coming into this game and how you thought the game played out for you guys.
Oh, well, first of all, Coach Healy's a great coach, their staff, and they're a great team. Fessel, Ben, Demir, you know, the last 3 days, all we've done is prepare for those 3. That's how they're all-stars. But, you know, we handle adversity all season. You know, we've been down 18-19. We lose a great player like Daniel Gubernat today to a knee injury. Troy Strelick again picks up 2 fouls early. And, you know, we've had that happen before, so we know how to handle it. And they're just turning into a really fun, good team to watch and coach. And, you know, it might not be pretty a lot of the times, but I'm just happy with how hard they're working. And somehow we're finding ways to win. So I'm just thankful.
And how do you guys feel like you're set up? You got a 4 seed with the HWS. Obviously, you got states coming up. You got some more big divisional games coming up. How do you guys feel like you have positioned yourself now for the remainder of the season with all these big games coming up?
It's just a little bit more seasoning to help us later on. You know, Jefferson the other night, Vernon here. I think it helps us. So all these, you need to play good teams. You know, and I think that we've handled it. We've given them some good leads, unfortunately, at times. Makes it stressful. But we found ways to come back and be in it, chance to win. And like I said, I'm very proud. This is a fun group to coach, and they're young, and they're getting better. And I owe it to my staff, Silverstein, Coach Dirk Kelly, Andrew Zermack, Josh Konya. All these people help out every day, so I'm very lucky. And
congratulations, Coach. Yeah, say it again.
Matt Tobin, the legend.
We always got to mention Matt Tobin. Congratulations, Coach. Nice job. All right, thanks for tuning in once again. Check out BT Broadcasting on YouTube, and we got more games upcoming. Have a great afternoon.